Okay, happy Tuesday. That seems weird. Let me just get on my laptop here and make sure this looks good, and then we'll get started. Hi, welcome on a Tuesday night. Let's see. Okay, I see it. All right, so I'm not sure if I'll catch anybody tonight, but I do have a conflict tomorrow, and I thought, well, I will share my projects tonight instead, so that we can get them in. All right, so I spent a good amount of time last week talking about my January Facebook Lives and how the class materials for these will work. And I do have another one for you today. By the way, the classes for last week's orders... Hi, Connie. The classes for last week's orders mailed out today, and the PDF will be emailed tomorrow or the next day, but definitely before you would receive those in the mail. Okay, and for my team, you'll also get an email with that. So I share the PDFs with my team. So the next one will be the Share a Milkshake Bundle. Okay, so we're going to get to that in a second, but I didn't get a chance last week because I spent so much time on this to talk about Celebration, and I couldn't show you the catalog last week. And I want to point out, now that Celebration has started, our very best deal for purchasing, and that's the Join special that you'll see on pages 18, 19 of the Celebration catalog. So during January and February, Stampin' Up! Is giving you an extra $50 in product in the starter kit. And this is product that you're choosing. So instead of choosing $125 in product, you get $175 for $99 plus tax. The shipping is free. And if you choose, they're also offering this super cute little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I have one here. It's a smaller version of our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and very portable. And it's in this boho blue preview color. This will be one of our in colors coming up. So really cute little machine. You can choose it in this color or white. There's the little plates. So I didn't unwrap the new ones. Little plates all come with it so that you can do embossing or die cutting. And let's see, let me look at my notes here. Okay, so if you decide to add one of these, it's an additional $30. These cost $63 in the catalog, so that's a good deal. So if you do the add-on, it's $129 total, and you will be getting $175 in product, whatever you pick, plus the $63 machine in boho blue or white. Okay, so you don't have to add that for $30, but that is a great deal. And this is a super cute little handy portable die cut machine. Okay, please don't hesitate to ask me questions. If you ever have questions about this, I'm happy to answer anything you can think of. There's no obligation to sell or even to buy anything beyond the starter kit. If you do, of course, you're buying at the demo discount at that point. So most of my team joined to buy for themselves at a discount, and it's a great deal. So I like to point that out. If your wish list is around $100 anyway, you might consider that. Okay. Anyway, contact me if you're interested. We can set up a call, or you can email me if you prefer. I just love the deal because the starter kit's always a good deal, but an extra $50 in product is even better. All right, so let's get to our milkshake cards. We are using this bundle, Share a Milkshake, tonight. And I will have, of the 3 cards, I'm really excited about what I'm doing in January because you'll be able to make these cards. You won't just be watching it. If you are purchasing anyway, you can use the host code and get the materials to make 2 each of these 3 cards, so a total of 6 cards. And I'll show you how that comes to you as we get going here. But this is the bundle we're talking about. It's on page 12 of the mini catalog. And oh my gosh, I was looking for embellishments for this class and looking everywhere except on this page, and then somewhere I saw these little embellishments being used somewhere else, and here they are, right, suggested with the Share Milkshake Bundle. So your free embellishment, if your order is over $50, will be these Opaque Adhesive-Backed Gems. They come in Gorgeous Grape, Melon Mambo, Fresh Freesia, and White. Okay, so again, $35 order on this host code gets you the 6 card material, the materials to make the 6 cards. If your order is $50 or more, I throw in the adhesive-backed gems. All right, so let us start with this card, this layout I really love for designer paper. I'm using our Celebration Dandy Designs paper on this card. And just a reminder from last week, and if you missed last week, you'll see this is how the cards are going to come to you if you get the class. It will be packaged in one envelope. There will be the additional envelope there. This week, I think I'm going to package the scrap separately, the scrap that you will cut and stamp, like the little pieces, the spoon, the chocolate. There's a lot of overlap between the cards of these scrap pieces where you will need this little bit of chocolate for both of these cards and the silver for both of these cards. So I think I'm going to package the scrap in a separate envelope. It'll be clear when you get your cards. But anyway, let me pull out the materials to make one. So you've got the card base, and let's see, what did I do with the sample? Here it is. So you can see you'll have 2 of each here. So I'm just pulling 1 of each designer paper piece. These are all cut, ready to go. Here's another Fresh Freesia mat. Hi guys. There's that. And then anything that is not part of the bundle that you can't create with the bundle, like for instance, this scallop contour shape from that die set, I will cut and provide for you. Okay, now that will be different from these pieces, which I've pre-made. You will get scrap to make any of these pieces that you can make with the bundle. Okay, so keep in mind the dies and the stamps in this particular bundle allow you to make these pieces. So there will be scrap in your package to make these. And then I've just made them ahead of time so that you're not waiting on me to do all that while we make the card. Okay, and looks like, oh, I forgot, I got the 2, this will also have the Whisper, or the basic white for the inside. I think that must have been stuck together over there. Okay, so you'll have all of these pieces, and all you have to do is stamp and assemble. Okay, so let's get started by stamping the sundae dish, or the milkshake glass. And I've got that in Petal Pink and Calypso Coral. So the colors I've used in this class, there are more than I would like, frankly, but you can pick and choose, and you can plan your ice cream colors, your dish colors differently if you like. Okay, so keep that in mind. You know, last week I only had 3 colors. That was nice and clean, but this week got a lot going on with all these ice cream pieces, so there's a little more color involved. I've used Crumb Cake, Sweet Sorbet, Petal Pink, Calypso Coral, Soft Seafoam, and Fresh Freesia on these cards, and I'll have that written out when I give you instructions and this host code in the Facebook feed. All right, so I found when I'm stamping this particular 2-step stamp that I'm doing better when I stamp the darker color first. It just seems like that's been easier to line up for me. So I'm inking up the appropriate stamp in the darker color, Calypso Coral, first, and stamping that. Even better if you can let this dry a little bit, so that when you add the Petal Pink, it doesn't bleed. It won't be terrible, but I actually used my heat tool to dry some of them, and they turned out a little better, but you'll see this will be fine. Okay, so there you get the glass, the ice cream dish or sundae glass, whatever it is. And then I've also got, oh, I've forgotten my sample pack. No, I did have those. I lost my little shape. Oh, let me cut one real quick. That little label is from the Give It a Whirl dies. So let me cut one real quick so we can assemble this card. And that will be in your kit. It was there. Oh, here they are. Sorry, I set that aside without using them. Yeah, that's a little label shape that's in the Give It a Whirl dies. Okay, so I've got that stamped in Sweet Sorbet. And I'm using the word celebrate from the kit, which kind of just fits perfectly there. And then, like I said, I've made ahead the pieces that you'll be making with the scrap I provide. I made the ice cream, cut the chocolate out of early espresso. Let me just put these together. And the cherry, I've stamped. The ice cream is Crumb Cake. The cherry is Sweet Sorbet on my sample. And like I said, that's kind of up to your discretion. It doesn't exactly match, you know, like have to match the papers or anything. And I'm going to put this down. Really cool thing about the ice cream piece, there's actually a little slot that gets cut by the die that you can tuck the spoon into. Okay, so it actually looks like it's, you know, sitting in the ice cream. So I'm going to add a little glue to make sure that's going to stay there. And just put that on. Okay, put a little weight on that for a second, and we'll assemble the designer paper pieces. Oh, thanks. All right, so we've got the plaid piece mats with the strip of Fresh Freesia. I'll go ahead and do that. And when you get the class, I mentioned the PDF. The PDF will have all these dimensions. I'm not going to get into trying to give them. We're doing 3 cards fairly quickly, so that will all be written out for you. Okay, so the other 2 designer paper pieces I'm putting on the card front. I'm just putting the flowers to the right and the dots to the left. And there might be a wider gap than you like between them, but just set it so your outside edges are looking good. And then I'm just going to glue this on over the top. The bottom of this piece should match flush with the bottom of the card, because this is a full 5.5 inch high piece. And I just think this is a great layout for any designer papers. In fact, I've already got plans for both of my card ministries this month to use a form of this layout. Doing Valentine's at one church, and we're doing birthday at another. So I'm just going to put my dimensionals over to the right side. And then this piece can be level over the raised portion here. And oh, I think that's so cute. Of course, when you cut and make this on your own, you can change up the colors of the ice cream and the glass according to your designer paper. Okay, and then we also have those great gems, Opaque Adhesive-Backed Gems. There's 3 sizes, so I'm going to use 1 of each. Okay, and remember what I said about the gems. They won't be included. I'm not going to put 3 gems in there per card for you to add in the kit, okay? If you have reached the $50 level, you will have these. If you haven't, you can substitute what embellishments you have, okay? All right, so that's the first card. And moving on, we'll do, the next one was inspired by a picture in the catalog that used soft sea foam, which is really a great color that I don't think to use on a Valentine card, but it is very pretty, I think. Okay, so again, you'll have pieces to make 2 in an envelope. There's a base. I'm just pulling 1 of each thing to show you how to make 1 card. This one's pretty simple. Okay, let me put the envelopes aside too. Okay, so those are the pieces I've cut and given to you, and then you will have scrap to make the ice cream glass, the 2 levels of ice cream, the 2 straws, and the cherry. Okay, so I have made those from the scrap ahead of time so that we don't spend a whole lot of time cutting pieces. All right, so the paper is from that designer paper gingham is Country Gingham. And you'll want to make sure you take the smaller piece to stamp for the front, and the larger piece for the inside. Oh, I think there was actually an inside sentiment on this one. Life is sweeter with you, that I forgot to attach. Okay, so you can do that on that first card as well, or whatever you want. Okay, we'll try to remember to do it on this one. All right, so we'll do that first so we don't forget. Again, with the Sweet Sorbet, we've got Life is Sweeter with You, and the hearts. All right, I'll set that aside. And then on the card front, I'm going to put down this piece of gingham first so that I see where I'm going to stamp the other parts. So I'm just putting that gingham down to the bottom edge of the basic white piece I've cut for you. Slide it right into place. Okay, and then we can stamp. I've got Be My Valentine. And just somewhere up in here. And then 2 sets of hearts I did. Okay, and like I said, the other pieces I pre-made and you'll make from scrap. So I'm going to attach this basic white piece to my Sweet Sorbet mat. And this basic white to the inside of this card base. Yeah, I agree, Robin. They are good for Valentine's. Next week, I don't know if this is wise or not, but there's one more set that people are using for a lot of Valentine's, so I thought I'd squeeze it in before we get too far along in January. Next week I'm gonna use the love cats. So that's probably very specific, a specific taste item, but I think the cats are so cute. And I'm not even a cat person. Okay, so again, we've got these little ice cream packs, or yeah, scoops. I'm going to slip the one straw in the little cut that's made by the die on this side. The other one I'm just tucking in behind. It won't really show. And assembling this how you like. So again, even though I suggested colors for this, which, you know, if you want to make the cards as I'm showing them, you know which colors I'm using. But, you know, like for the ice cream colors, they could be something else. Yeah, I agree about the cats. They're really inviting somehow. And even though it's just a standalone set, I thought it would be a fun one to do. I was going to mix it in there and see what you think. And I would really love feedback on these classes. I tend to like fun folds. Yeah, this is not one. I guess tonight maybe not a good example. But I don't know, is that good, bad? What do you prefer? I'd love to have some feedback on, you know, what you'd like to see and what gets you interested. So anytime you can do that, I'd appreciate it. Okay, so gotta try to put that together and the cherry on top. I think this set is really fun because of all the color possibilities. You know, when you're making ice cream sundaes or milkshakes, yeah, you're going to have a lot of choices in colors. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Mary Jane. All right. Oh, maybe I need to stick that a little straighter so it fits. Okay. Of course, you'll make it how you want it. But there's that one. Oh, and I put a couple of these little gems on this one as well. They just add that little bit extra. Okay, and I'm sure if you don't have these, if you don't end up getting these, there's plenty that would go nicely. Okay, so that is card number 2. Let me set that aside. And we'll do the third. The third is a bookbinding fold. Okay, so you've seen me do this before. Oh, I bet I forgot the center. There will be a center. There will be a white insert for the inner piece. Sorry, I was rushing a little bit to get this ready a day early. But I do have everything else ready. Here, there's the extra envelope, the base. I apologize. Yeah, your cards will have an insert as well. And the edge. So on the bookbinding fold, it's a basic card, and then there's an extra score line. So you'll get it like this, and you can burnish that extra score line like so. And then I just seal the flat, what's going to be the flat edge down. Okay, so this opens like so. And it's a little longer than square. It's not quite square. Looks almost square. Okay, and we're just going to add these designer paper pieces. Okay, so these are cut for you. And if you're getting the PDF, they'll all be listed out for you if you want to recreate. Okay, like I said, not quite square. See, if I turn it this way, it's short. Just how the dimensions worked out. And so we'll put these down. And okay, you'll also have a white piece for the inside, so you can stamp what you like on the inside as well. And oh, the deckled rectangle is probably where that other tag shape was. Yeah. Okay, so the deckled rectangle, that will be provided because that's not part of the ice cream share a milkshake bundle. Yeah, I still have my parts spread around on my tables. Okay, so this will be provided, and then all of these pieces to make up the waffle cones, you will have scrap to make. Okay, so there's quite a few on this. There's this great little mesh that I just kind of like located down here. We can go ahead and stamp that deckled rectangle. Life is sweeter with you. So this could be a Valentine, or this could be a birthday. And so I made fresh freesia and soft sea foam and petal pink ice cream pieces. And I've got the couple of hearts. These 3 cut with one die, the 3 different heart shapes. I've got a couple of cherries. The cutting goes pretty fast when you put these all out on your platform, as many as you can at a time. The little chocolate pieces. Okay, and the waffle cones. The waffle cones are really fun. And I just shaded them. I took one of my blending brushes and some crumb cake ink. And I'm going to kind of just brush right onto them to highlight the waffle impressions. See, that really makes a difference between the two, to see the indentations of the waffle cone. I always brush off a little bit. Sometimes the ink is like pretty strong if you go right from the pad to your project, so kind of keep that in mind. And really don't need to do the back. Okay, we also have smaller blending brushes now too in this catalog, so that's kind of cool. Okay, so I'm just gonna fold up the waffle cones. I actually didn't want them to be super flat, so I don't know, they may get flattened if you're mailing this, but I put a little curve in them with my bone folder. And then I stamped, the catalog shows you using these little guys in here. I actually stamped one big one for each as well, and I cut just part of it off to make it fit in the cone. So I'm cutting like just at the beginning of this lump, I'm cutting off the end lump, and we'll see how that fits. So I did kind of like that for my first piece. Now that little indentation or that little slit will be covered up. We're not using that on this card, but I didn't cut quite enough off, so you may have to play with that a little bit. You want to cut too much at first because you won't have enough ice cream left. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to just tuck that down. And then on this one I've got the, actually I'm gonna put the chocolate on first, and then I can arrange it so the chocolate shows in the direction I want it to go. This is a little fussy, sorry. Get the other one ready too. Okay, and then I'm going to just, sorry, sliding that over a little bit. It slid out of place a bit. Kind of put that in there. I'm going to use glue, and as I always recommend, very handy if you have a little clothespin for this kind of thing, to let it dry a second while we work on this guy. these are fun, fun to play with and build with. So, and I really think, I mean, starting with Valentine's Day, these will be fun to play with well into the summertime. So, kind of nice. You'll be able to mix it up with new papers when we get the annual catalog. Make sure that's tucked in far enough so we don't see the bottom. And let's see, while I'm here, I'll put the cherries on. So it does look like a lot of pieces, but when you're kind of like assembly lining and know what you want, it goes pretty fast. Okay, and the spoon, I just put a little dab of glue on the back of the spoon and tuck that in on each of these. You know, I actually didn't think to check if the silver foil is still current, but I will have silver foil in there regardless of if we sell it or not anymore, because it's so worthwhile for these spoons. Okay, so, you know, these can be a little squirrely to glue on, but I'm not going to worry too much. I know I'm going to have a heart over here. I know I'm going to have an ice cream cone up here. So I'm not going to worry if my glue is squirting out from this grid. Okay, so I'm going to just put that down, and then I've got the heart to lock it down with. And then the other hearts, I just put up the spine here. Oops. I do want to make sure I cover that glue. And that glue. All right, so we've got that, and then probably I'm gonna just put a little strip of tear and tape to make sure that's held really well. Let's see, I'm gonna arrange these with the greeting at the same time to make sure I have enough space, because it is a little bit tight. So I'm putting the greeting up on dimensionals, and I'll have tear and tape on the back of my ice cream cones to hold them good. I'm just afraid since I rounded them a little bit, they might try to pop off the card. Okay, so now time to arrange. We've got Life is Sweeter with You, and my spoon got turned here. Put that in place and let that dry. There we go. Okay, so there is the third. Oh, good. Thanks, Connie. I couldn't remember. Some of those foils have come in and out of the catalog, but don't worry, I have plenty. So that's a staple for me. All right, so there we have this week's class, which is Share a Milkshake, and the 3 cards. So if you have any questions about this or how this works, please don't hesitate to ask either by email or here on Facebook. Any questions about the join special? Of course, when you're shopping during Celebration, if you get to the $50 level, you're also picking out a free with 50 item from Stampin' Up in your order. So yeah, lots of good stuff. You can cash in on the Celebration item, can cash in on my class. If you do the join special, you get a ton of free product, well, essentially free product, because it will be much discounted with the extra dollars allotted. So thanks, guys. I'll just take a quick look through. I don't think I saw any questions, but thanks for joining me. And oh yeah, so this host code will be through Sunday night, and then I'll collect orders Sunday night and create the packs and send them out in the following week. Okay, so just so you know, the deadline to order to get the class is always going to be Sunday night. All right, thanks guys, have a great night. Bye-bye.